Welcome again, everyone. This is Amy Wenslow with the Product Business Podcast. I am honored that you're here today. We're continuing the conversation about marketing and business growth and expansion for your products and ideas that will spark new possibility for you in the growth and expansion of what you're doing. So over the weekend, like I mentioned in our last podcast, I really needed a refresh. We'd been working really hard on our book that is launching this week called Turn Products into Profits. And we'll post a link for you in the description of the podcast. It will be available as a sneak preview for free, which I'm really excited to do for all of our listeners. And so we had been working really intently. The month of May was fast. It was busy. And I needed a refresh. So Friday night, we went to a local farmer's market where they have live music. It's a little mountain community. And this is different than the one I was at Saturday that I was talking to you about, but they're connected. So let me explain here. As a business owner, I'm always looking at good marketing and seeing what's working for other businesses in other categories than our clients are in. Our clients span most categories of consumer products. We have a few in the food industry. One of our clients, Nut Pods, is in national distribution, so you might have seen them in the completely dairy-free creamer section. And so I'm always looking for insights, ideas, inspirations, etc., right? So Friday night we were at this little farmer's market and I saw this tamale vendor. It's called the Tamale Guy. And there's one guy in this booth and the booth was well laid out, looked clean, all of that. So he was checking all the boxes that way. And as a girl who grew up in upstate New York, where Mexican food really wasn't available a whole lot, since I moved to Los Angeles 20 years ago, I've developed a love of tamales. So I looked at Jeff and I said, hey, I think let's get some tamales. And we were having tamales for dinner. So I walk over to the booth and I start talking to the gentleman in the booth, and I'm asking him what vegetarian options he has because I'm newly vegetarian. And he says, oh, I have potatoes and roasted vegetables. I have a corn, just a straight up corn tamale. He goes, are you looking for one for dinner? And I said, yes. And he goes, oh, let me check. Maybe I have one of my cactus tamales. Now, I'd never heard of a cactus tamale. So that's always interesting, right? And Jeff loves to try things he's never tasted before. So gentleman in the booth, who I learned his name is Fred. Fred is like sorting through his tamales. He's looking for a cactus one in the big pan with probably about 50 tamales in it. He has two of these pans and he's sorting through. He's looking for a cactus. And he turns to me and said, oh, I'm out of cactus. So what I have for you is I have the potato and the vegetable, and there was one other one. So I said, sure, we'll take that. And so we get our tamales and they were delicious. We're listening to some music. We're sitting at this lakeside patio overlooking this really cool mountain lake and enjoying the evening. Okay. So we finish Friday night. Saturday, we go to a different farmer's market about 10 or 15 minutes the other direction in the afternoon because, again, I needed to continue taking a break, letting my energy refresh so that I can be at my best for you and all of our clients. So we're at the Saturday farmer's market. We park the car, and Jeff and I are walking in, and right next to the entrance is, guess what? The Tamale Guy. He has a booth there too. Same man in the booth. And I'm thinking to myself, this is really interesting. These two farmers markets are only about 15 or 20 minutes apart in the mountains overlooking Los Angeles. And it's kind of a resort area. But it's very fascinating because most people would not do two farmers markets, one on a Friday night, the other one from 10 to 2 on a Saturday, in the same general vicinity. So I immediately made note of that. I'm like, there is a reason he's doing this, because he was well organized about what he's doing. So it wasn't random, right? So you can always pick up clues if you're paying attention. All right. So we go through the farmer's market, and you hear in the previous episode, I talk about one of the other vendors at this market and how brilliantly he was marketing his product and how he thinks strategically. But so as we're leaving, of course, we knew we were going to stop because I wanted to try the cactus tamale, right? Now, this is really intriguing. The lesson in this is the night before, he had said, oh, one of our most popular ones is our new cactus tamale. But then he couldn't sell me one because he was sold out, right? So it had created curiosity for me. Why is this so popular? What's good about it? And I already like tamales. Maybe I'll like that one, right? And I had asked him the night before, I said, what's it like? What's cactus tamale like? And he said, well, the cactus comes out about like a green pepper, the texture of a green pepper. And he had described it really well. And he said, I develop my recipes and I look for the ingredients that would seem like they go together. And then we try it and we test them. And so the cactus is my newest. All right, I'm like, this is a good approach. So Saturday, when we were talking to the Tamale Guy in the booth, right, in the Tamale Guy booth, I said, hey, hi, as we're walking up. And he goes, oh, hello, you were here last night at the other market. And I said, yes. And he goes, oh, you wanted to try the cactus, but I didn't have any, right? And I said, yes. And he said, oh, here, I have some. Let me, I'll give you one so you can try it, right? And he found one, he put it on a plate, and he gives me the cactus tamale. And I said, how much is it? And he said, no, you try it. You just try it. And so, number one, he was sampling to us for free with a whole tamale because we were a repeat customer, right? He was about creating fans from us so that we would get to know, like, and trust his product even more, number one. So we're standing there and we're in a conversation. And I said, hey, what's your name? And he goes, oh, it's Freddie. Fred is what I really go by. And I said, your tamales are really good. And he said, thank you. I do my own recipes. And Jeff asked him, do you wrap the tamales yourself? And he said, oh, no, I have a team of 6 ladies that are great, and they do the tamale wrapping. And I'm thinking to myself, 6 people busy as jobs wrapping tamales. This man's moving some serious product, right? And so I said, do you have a restaurant? And he said, yes, I do. I have a restaurant down in Claremont, California. I have a restaurant in Claremont, and then I have a small shop in Montclair, Claremont is probably about 40 minutes from where we were standing, maybe an hour. And then Montclair is 30 minutes past that, right? And so he says, I have a restaurant in Claremont. I have a shop in Montclair. And then next week, we do 7 or 8 farmers markets, right? And I'm thinking to myself, and then he goes on, and he says, I'm really lucky that I get to choose whichever one I want to go to. And he has a team that goes to the others, right? So the lesson here is, number one, when he mentioned his team of ladies that wrap the tamales for him, he had the biggest smile on his face, and you could tell he really appreciated their work, right? And it gave him the freedom to be about the recipes and about the business growth. Second lesson. Third thing is his restaurants are up and running, right? So he's making tamales anyway. And he chooses farmers markets that are in about a 40-minute to maybe an hour radius from his location. Why would he do that? Think about it. Because That is about the distance that someone would probably travel in Los Angeles, right? And be willing to come to his restaurants. So he's using the farmers markets as a way that is paid marketing, because people are going to buy his tamales at them, to increase his sphere of influence all around his geographical area of his locations. Okay? This is brilliant. Plus, Fred was just fun. He's energetic. He's people oriented, and he really understood his consumers and his product. And he was really interested in serving them well. So instead of just buying tamales from him, what we have is a rapport with business owner to business owner. So when you are out and about and you're doing your life as a business owner and you're growing things, ask questions. If you see a good marketing strategy or you see something, like, be curious, right? Because it adds to your tools that are available to grow your business. So with that, everyone, next episode, we will be talking a little bit more about what expanding a business looks like in actual practical reality and tactics for that. And we will be announcing the Turn Products into Profits book launch this week. So pay attention for that. Next Monday on the live Q&A show, I'd be happy to answer your questions directly. You can check the description of the entire podcast show here to get the link to be on the list, to get the call-in information. I appreciate every one of you. Go make your product business dreams come true.